Donald Trump has opened a criminal investigation into another political opponent. But guys, this one is the most dangerous yet. And it should really terrify anyone who remembers what democracy used to look like in America. Okay, so here is what happened. The Trump administration has opened a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve. Now, it's important to understand that Jerome Powell is not a political rival. He is not running for any office. He does not write any laws. But he does control interest rates, and interest rates affect, mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and basically the entire U.S. economy. Trump has made it clear how much he dislikes Powell and basically wants him replaced. In fact, based on my research, I'm going to read a few things to you guys, okay? Which I think is really, important for, context. Trump has publicly criticized Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell on approximately 80 separate occasions. Now, that is what I found. I'm assuming there is more, and that was since January 2025. Some notable statements. So I'm going to read some notable statements as well from January 2025 until now. And again, this is only a few because there are so many. But it looks like he, in April, lashed out, stating that Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. Also in April, Trump called Powell a major loser and Mr. Too Late in multiple Truth Social posts. And in May, during an interview, Trump called Powell a total stiff. In June, he called him a real dummy and destructive, claiming that he was costing the United States hundreds of billions of dollars. In July, Trump suggested Powell should resign immediately. August 1st, Trump referred to Powell as a stubborn moron. And in December, Trump said that his administration would probably bring a lawsuit against Powell for gross incompetence related to cost of, Fed building renovations. And then January 11th, when asked about the Justice Department's criminal probe into the Fed renovations, Trump told NBC News, I quote, "I don't know anything about it, but he's certainly not very good at the Fed, and he's not very good at building buildings." So Trump is claiming that he has nothing to do with this, with the DOJ going after Jerome Powell. Yeah, anybody is going to believe that. I mean, like anybody's going to believe that. No one's going to believe that. Okay. So that information matters, right? Because the Federal Reserve is supposed to be indifferent. Presidents are not supposed to punish the person, controlling the economy just because they don't like the results. And this is, not happening by itself. I mean, this is part of a growing pattern. When a president uses the DOJ to investigate people who stand in his way, the message is simple. Disagree with me, and I'll sick Pam Bondi on you. That is not how democracies work, right? That's more authoritarianism. That's basically authoritarianism, actually, yeah. And in just the first year of this administration, we have seen this pattern repeat again and again and again, guys. I mean, let's look at some examples. James Comey was fired after refusing to, pledge loyalty to Trump. Trump attacked Comey for years, saying things like he's a dirty cop and corrupt. He's a slime ball. He's slippery. He's a nut job. He's a showboat and a grandstander. He's a leaker, liar, and the worst FBI director in history. Yeah. And Trump later said openly that the Russia investigation was on his mind when he fired him. So that's sent a very clear signal, right? I mean, law enforcement leaders who do not protect the president can lose their jobs. You also have John Bolton became a target after criticizing Trump's foreign policy. The administration went after him over his memoir. And not because of real national security harm, by the way, but because he spoke out. All right. And that is basically telling future officials to, not speak up. And if you do speak up, we will make your life miserable. Letitia James has faced repeated attacks and threats of investigation after bringing civil cases against Trump's, businesses. Trump publicly called for punishment and has failed multiple times with indictments. I want everybody to understand that that is like retaliation, and you cannot call that anything else. It is 100% retaliation. Adam Schiff has been repeatedly targeted by this administration, basically trying to bring investigations on him after he, led the impeachment efforts against Trump. Trump has commented several times on Schiff with, derogatory names. One, Shifty Schiff, Adam Shifty Schiff, pencil neck, sleazebag, a major lowlife, sick, and one of the true lowlifes in the American history of politics in America. So, Schiff has, responded to these attacks by calling them political retaliation and weaponization of, the justice system intended to chill dissent among lawmakers, but it doesn't scare Schiff in any way. He doesn't care. Investigating lawmakers for doing their, constitutional job is a massive red line. Mark Kelly has been targeted by Trump and the Department of Defense after reminding the military it legally, cannot follow illegal orders. And actually today, which is interesting, actually, while we're doing this, Mark Kelly actually just sued the Trump administration and the Department of Defense, I believe, both of them, over this entire situation. I can have more for you on that later. But, look, using the military bureaucracy against elected officials is another clear escalation, okay? All of that was very bad, okay? But guys, this Jerome Powell thing is worse, is so much worse, because Jerome Powell does not control politics. He doesn't make laws. I said that earlier. He controls the economy. And if presidents can investigate their Fed chair for decisions they, don't like, then interest rates become basically a political weapon, okay? Economic stability will, just disappear. Investors will lose trust. And everyday Americans will be the ones that actually pay the price here. So this pushes us even further away from the democracy we, had just a year ago, where institutions had some protection from political revenge. Let's go over who's actually at risk here, okay? Federal officials who refuse loyalty, independent institutions, lawmakers who oppose the president, and everyday Americans like you and me, because economic independence is now basically under threat. And the line crossed here is so obvious and bad, all right? We moved from political disagreements to criminal punishment of anyone who stands in the way of the president. And guys, this really matters because once a president learns he can weaponize the DOJ without consequences, there is no reason to stop. The targets just keep expanding. The fears keep spreading, and democracy as we know it continues to keep shrinking. This is not normal, all right? And we cannot treat it like it is. There is too much normalization happening right now with the Trump administration and how he runs his regime. And one thing we have to make sure is that we continue calling these things out, because if we don't, it's just going to be people in this country saying, well, it's just Trump doing Trump. Whatever, it's fine. Who cares? And that will be what destroys this country. Thank you for watching. I am Jared Zisser, and this is Ring of Fire. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications to make sure you are informed about everything important in progressive politics today. And if you are looking for fact-based independent reporting all day, every day, follow me here on Instagram or here on Facebook. See you in the next video.